It is your local election headquarters. Polls been closed now for about 20 minutes, not quite. We want to get to Tom Dudchek and the Capitol Report team. They're live in our digital studio with some analysis of what's happening in Connecticut tonight. Guys.
Hi, Darren. Yeah, thanks. We're here with our computers, where our cell phones are charged. People are calling us up. We have Liz Koranowitz, a Republican strategist. She's working the phones to the Republican side of the aisle. Eva Bermuda Zimmerman, she's working the phones for her. She has a lot of contacts on the Union side in Connecticut. Guys, some broad issues we want to talk about. They say all politics is local, but this year it seems to me there's a lot of national issues. A gentleman by the name of Donald Trump on the ballot here in Connecticut. It seems, Liz, I know you don't like that.
Well, it's not a question of like it or not like it. I think what we heard earlier in the program from the chairman in Waterbury, Jeff Santapietro, talking about some of the issues they've been touching on in their Board of Aldermen race, I think are issues that have been touched upon across the state: crime, affordability, and schools.
Education's top key right now. A lot of conversations about what the curriculum looks like. Guilford made national headlines. That's amazing that one conversation from local leaders there made national headlines, so we'll see.
51% turnout in Guilford. It's a hot button issue. It's been nasty this year, Liz. The politics in Connecticut has been more nasty. We hear constant talks about Facebook people. People are losing friends. It shouldn't be like this in politics.
I think that's right. Talking to candidates running up and down the ballot, I think you have to remember that people do this for their community. These are your neighbors running for office, and I think that people forget that when they get on social media a lot of times, and these races got very, very nasty in some cases.
They called it a toxic stew in Coventry.
Sadly, I saw it front and center when President Biden came to visit, and there were at least 20 people there that were self-proclaimed Proud Boys, cursing and just saying profanities and vulgarities in front of a child care center, so it's been a little nasty.
Absentee ballots are front and center, Liz. A lot of issues surrounding that. There's been a controversy versus people who send out already signed absentee ballots versus some that are unsigned. We're not hear the last of that.
No, this is going to be something I think that's litigated for quite some time. I know there's been a lot of confusion coming down from the Secretary of State's office. This has been a big problem for registrars and town clerks.
Considering it's her last term, I'm sure she's going to do a swell job and look into it.
Well, I don't think she's going to have a choice of whether or not to look into it. It's going to be handled in the court system, it seems like, at this point.
Crime's on the ballot, too, right?
Crime is on the ballot. I think you hear that. Unfortunately, we see another tragedy in Waterbury. I know that's something that has been touched upon in a lot of our local elections, including New Haven here, where unfortunately the murder rate is up 70% over what it was last year, and you see a Republican, running in New Haven for the first time, as we heard, in 15 years, which I think is a good thing to have a conversation about these issues.
I've had conversations with some of my folks who are running for Board of Ed in major cities, and it is surprising that they're actually having conversations, not just door to door, but they're having roundtable conversations in the community about what they're going to do next once they get elected.
It's not all negative, though. I think you look at the campaign that Erin Stewart has run in New Britain, for example, where she's done a tremendous job growing the grand list and serving the people in that city, and she has run a positive campaign and has a great record to run on.
Unfortunately, Bobby Valentine is not that example. He's gone a little bit on the defensive here, and then he played on the offensive, and then went on the attack mode. So it's been a little nasty in Stamford, but we'll see. Maybe Aaron's just an outlier there.
We'll see. Well, and then you've got Danbury, which is going to be a big race. You have an open seat for the first time in the city of Danbury for quite some time. And I think Dean Esposito looks like he's probably going to take that.
Darren, and 43 communities in the state. First Selectman is running unopposed. We'll have early results on that. And best name, guys, on the ballot this year, Rufus P. DeRom from where else? Connecticut, guys.